You know, the Baltimore Catechism was a catechism that was established because when the Catholics moved to this country, it was basically a Protestant country. And they wanted them to know what we believed as Catholics. So they made this catechism. The catechism was simple, short little answers. Who made me? God made me. Why did God make me? To know, love, and serve Him. You know, there was a period of time when we would think that because people knew about God, that they would love Him. A lot of times we understand that knowledge about a person is not the same as knowledge of the person. Sometimes you have to have a relationship with a person to be able to really know the person. We could know all kinds of facts about the person. You know, one of the things that I uniquely have is I can't remember names. I can probably name 16 things about this person and still not remember their name. Yeah. The reality is that to know a person is to not know facts about the person, but there's an intimacy in a relationship that you know the person, how they think, what they do, all of those things. But what we really needed to do was to have a relationship with God. In the old days, it were devotions. Devotions were there so that we would feel God and that we would sense God. In many ways, a couple experiences this. They know each other, they love each other, they want to be with each other. They get married, and they find out that he wants to save this old college pennant, and she says it doesn't fit into our decor. And somehow they have to love each other enough to say, all right, I'll put the pennant in the garage, you know. That somehow they have to get beyond what they want in a relationship to find out what the other wants. And that's exactly what the church was talking about when they talked about to know, love, and serve God. That you have to know God well enough to know what He's thinking. And He knows well enough to know what you're thinking. So that this knowledge of God is not a list of things about God. He's three persons in one, or, but rather He's my Father, and He loves me, and He forgives my sins, and we have a relationship. I can come to Him, and I can trust Him. And that's built out of the love that you have for God. That you want to love God, and you appreciate Him, and you see that just as He loves you, you want to love Him. Now, ultimately, in our Christian faith, in our Catholic faith, we realize that God died for us. He loved us so much that He willingly gave His whole self up for us. How do we love God? Well, we give our lives to God. We're not asked to be nailed to a cross, but we are asked to serve. That serving is our way of putting others first before us. It's our way of showing God that we want to love Him as much as He has loved us, and that we want to continue in this relationship to become like Him, so that the more we serve, the more we are like God, who does things not expecting things back, but happy when people generously give themselves to each other. And so one of the things that we can do in our lives is to know about God. Sometimes we have to read the catechism so that we can say, oh, I never realized we thought that, or we believed that. But then we need to be in prayer. We need to be in dialogue. We need to be in talk with God. It's not hi, how are you? It's like, God, I'm having a hard time today. Direct me, guide me. What would I do? Let me just sit here and listen to see what your answer might be. And then it's to reach out and to say, ultimately, what God wants me to do is to be like his Son, who emptied himself to become a human, who died on the cross so that he could bring us his life, and that I need to share my life with others in service. God bless you.